so it's Wednesday, April the 15th, and we know how many are signed up. We've got probably about 60% of you in the room right now in the webinar. Let's say good morning to some people whilst we're letting people get on. So good morning, Ian, Maria, Charlotte, Perry, Jackie, Andy, Beverly, Lenka, Emma, Naomi, Susan, Sarah, Crystal, Val, good morning, Claire, Borida, Laura Schiavone, Abby, yeah, happy Wednesday. Ben, good morning. Lee, morning. Morning, Milka. Turn your question box off. Look at the bottom. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you look at the bottom, you want to be clicked on the speech bubble unless you're asking a question. Morning, Alex and Leanne. Tommy, good morning. Gemma, good morning. Mags, morning. Tammy, hi. Good morning, Milka twice. And Boo, good morning. And Georgina, Marcus, Penny, Michelle, Andrew, Jess, Georgia. That will be 3. That will be Matt and Francesca also there. Jane, Danny, Chloe, good morning. Matt, the traffic was bad. Matt messaged this morning and said, I'm on the M1. I'll be there in time for coffee. Oh, God, if only. I wish. Dee, good morning. Janice, good morning. Let's have a look. So I think we've got about 75% of the people in the room. Good morning, Gary. Nice to see you this morning, everybody. Okay, so, and our phones go nuts at this time too. Yep, your goal today is to use the right speech bubble. So let's start with that. If you look down at the bottom, we're learning about these webinars all the time. It's so good. And when we use all the right bits, as it were, it goes better for everybody. So if you look down the bottom where it says type your message, you can see you've got 2 little circles there. You've got a speech box and a question mark. So when you want to say something, please use the speech box. If you've got a question, by all means click onto the question mark, but actually when you type, if you put question mark at the end of your typing, and if somebody just wants to test and show everybody, it automatically will come in a question box. This is particularly important today, and you'll see why in a second. So if somebody does that. Now when you ask, thank you Tommy, I'm really well. So after you've done that, then what you need to do is go back and click on your speech box. Now I'm going to bring everyone's attention to something else as well. We've not used this, so we don't quite know how it's going to work out. We were doing a little practice with it, but we've not practiced it live. If you look in the bottom right, you'll see a little hand. And if you hover over that, what you'll see is that you can raise your hand. You can agree. Yeah, there you go. You can agree with something, so or you can disagree. It's going to be quite important today. And also, if you need some help, can you see there it says I need help? And if you press that, Declan's able to come and help you directly. Okay, but we're all getting really good at this now. So remember to clear your status. All right, so put your hand down. So clear your status. That will put your hand down. Otherwise what happens is it's a bit like being on an aeroplane and everyone's pressing the button for the flight attendant, and in the end nobody takes any notice of the light, because the flight attendant just goes like, you know, these people are just pressing buttons for the sake of pressing a button. So if you're on a mobile phone, I'm sorry, I've not used it on a phone, I only use it on a computer. Okay, Marie needs some help. Declan, I'm sure that you should, Declan says it should be in your text box. There's a little bit of help there for people. Don't worry if you can't find all these things, it doesn't matter. You can take part in whichever way you want, because it's important today. Today's subject, we can have the presentation up, please, Dec. I think he might be. There we go. Okay. So he's helping people. So is Daniel, helping them get on. Because I believe that they may have they may have updated their platform, this Click Meeting company. All of these companies are having unprecedented engagement and new business. We pay for this platform, it's not free, and so we're a new customer to them. Of course, other problems that are happening are bandwidth, and it could be in your area or it could be here. Some of you may have been on with me when we had some problems. I had to move to a different location, right? Because it was my internet, and it's because so many people are using the internet. So today, our subject, let's talk three-dimensional solutions. And today's webinar is a webinar with a difference, because what I intend for us to do is literally do that, talk three-dimensional solutions. I haven't got any solutions for you, and I'm going to explain to you once again why. You may remember that for those of you that haven't heard this story, when Leslie Spears began 365, he tested every one of his ideas and concepts through a salon up in the north east called Lupin's. When Leslie became the distributor for Paul Mitchell, he and his partner in Lupin's at the time, his partner became the distributor for Paul Mitchell in the north of England and Scotland, Hugh Dawson. Many of you will know Hugh. And of course, Leslie eventually grew Paul Mitchell into distributing into 23 countries. And so they were a little busy with distribution, and so they sold the salon on. So after that, Leslie set up a group. It was called the Mentor Group, and I was very lucky to be part of that group. And he ran ideas that he had through that group. So now something about running ideas. So I've been running ideas through my salons for, I'm going to say, because I'm sure that the mentor program, how many years? I'm going to say more than 20. I'm going to say 25 years more than. So when you run those ideas, of course, some of them work straight away, but for the most part, many of them, and this is a good time for me to go to the whiteboard, many of the answers, many of the ideas, some of them start well, right? But others don't always start well from the beginning. You can tell me what that is. Yeah, the S-curve. My favorite tool. How many sections does it have? Yeah, well done. 3. Who can tell me what the first section is called? Yeah, well done, Perry. The first section, number 1, it's the birth, the beginning, right? It's also known as discovery. Yes, thank you, Jody. Good, very good. My business partners, 10 out of 10. Let me, can you try and move that over, Declan, for me, please? So, phase 1 is birth or discovery. Note the shape. Note the shape here. Can you see my T? Can you see that T? Or is that only visible to me? And I should have something else. Yeah, okay. So note the shape, right? It goes down. right? In actual fact, it's shaped really, if we were able to go in with a microscope, it would be more like this, up and down, up and down, up and down. Because what are we discovering? What are we discovering? Yeah, what works and what doesn't work, right? We're discovering what works and what doesn't work. So it's the beginning. So it could be the beginning of a new idea, the beginning of a new era. So when we talk about reset, and that's what we have the opportunity now for a reset, okay? But when we have new ideas and we're testing them, we're in stage one and we're discovering what works and what doesn't work. And unfortunately, we're not able to do that right now. We're able to talk about our ideas, what we like and what we think will work. But we're going to have to kind of learn on the job, as it were. Okay, so phase 2. Let's have a look. Who can tell me? Phase 2. Yeah, so it's once we've discovered what works and what doesn't work, okay, then we move into phase 2, which is replication. Right? Replication, basically, right? So we once we find something that works, we over and over and over and over, we replicate it, okay? And we keep replicating it, a bit like this wallpaper in the background. I had a Zoom meeting last week with somebody who said, oh, there's the famous wallpaper. Let's see if somebody could notice something else that changes. But we repeat, and what happens is we get this growth, okay? So let me give an example. Let's give an example. We could do new stylist, right? Finishes MVQ, goes on the floor, initially discovering what works and what doesn't work, right? Hopefully we've done really good training. So this is a short period of time and there's not so much stuff that doesn't work. But once they get the hang of it, and it's not a photo, right? There you go. It's a living picture. It's reindeer moss. There you go. Anyway, so we repeat, and that stylist grows and grows and grows and grows. Now, everything eventually will come to this stage here. It's important that we identify this stage. Who wants to tell me what this is? Yeah. Performance level off, right? Ultimately, everything comes to performance level off. And it's important to identify this here. There you go. Declan's going to hate that because the perfectionist in him is not going to like that, but I like it. So we get to performance level off. We must identify it, because at that point, if we don't identify that performance level off, if we continue, we eventually are going to go into phase 3. Okay. Now, who can tell me what phase 3 is? And I will come back to performance level off. So what is phase 3? Yeah, it's decline, right? Decline. Now, the problem is, if you don't identify here, if you don't identify till you get into decline, it's kind of difficult to change that that decline, right? So if we identify here in performance level off, Declan, I think Marcus might need some help there. If we identify it here, we're able to make changes. How do we make those changes? What do we do? Somebody tell me what we do. What do? We innovate, yeah. What does that look like? We reinvent. What does it look like on this screen? Rebirth. Okay, it looks like this. In other words, we go onto an S-curve, right? So we start the S-curve again. So where are we? When we start the S-curve again, where are we? We're in phase 1, right? We're back into birth, the birth of a new idea, and discovery of new ideas. Now, it's really important that, this is probably the most important time I've ever taught you this. In all of the years of your hairdressing career, salon ownership, And if I were to draw mine, right, my career, it would look like this. 40 years in hairdressing, 30 years in business, right? Look at all those S-curves. And here I am going on to a new S-curve. Do you understand? So it's why you are not, I've got no answers for you today, because I normally come to you with information when I've already done this bit and actually I'm a little way into this bit, okay? And I, like you, I'm in here because we can't practice anything except for hair on dolls' heads, mannequin heads, and, you know, haircuts on partners, right? Or on ourselves. I'm sporting light touch up today. Let my roots are gone. So that's really important today. And that is exactly what's happening now. I want everybody to understand that. It's really important. Don't listen, don't hear something and go, wow, that's amazing, and then pick it up and run with it. There will be some things we can, right? But really important that we proceed with caution, because something else that I've already told you, but I'm going to reiterate, more businesses go out of business after a recession or a crisis than during, okay? And a lot of it is to do with over trading, and we haven't got time for all of that kind of foundation today, all that theory. But you know, we don't want to be making massive mistakes in our business at this very, very precious time. Okay, let's get back to our presentation. So we're going to talk, and you know, there's no right or wrong answers. Okay, we literally are sharing our thoughts and our ideas. We're going to see how many people say, yeah, that will resonate with me or not. If you want to put your hands up, if you resonate with something, or if you don't think that would work for you, you can put your thumbs down. You can do all of that stuff. Declan can keep coming back and say, wow, we've got a lot of hands up then. I don't know whether he actually he gets the opportunity to see exactly how many hands up we have. So, but that's really what we're going to do today. All right. So I'm sorry I can't come to you with the answer, with the blueprint. I wish I could. It's keeping me awake at night, you know, in many respects. You know, when the government said we can't go back yet, there's a part of me that's kind of relieved, because I don't yet know what to do when we go back. Who feels like that? Okay. Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of hands up. Good. Right? That's the part, that's also, you know, we always say that, you know, when we come together and we get the opportunity to find out we're all in the same boat, it makes us feel better, right? We're all feeling that way. We don't quite know what to do yet. So there's some of the things that we can talk about today. All right. So I just want to put this out there. A couple of notes I've got for myself here. On the 20th, in case you didn't yet know, the portal opens for the wage claims. It's not on the top of my head, and I'm not going to dig into my brain for it. I've got so much in my brain to bring this up today. So it opens on the 20th, which is just 5 days away. So that's good. Yeah, the furloughed wages portal opens on the 20th. In case you didn't hear it, they are predicting that the economy is going to take a 35% hit, because jobs will go and businesses will go. I've only briefly this morning seen a little bit of news, and I saw that Oasis and whatever other company is associated with them, clothing, warehouse, yeah, they've gone into administration. Okay. So we're starting to see, Debenhams was last week. Monsoon, okay, I didn't know about that. Cath Kidston, that went last week. Some of these, they're keeping real quiet. So we know jobs will go, we know businesses will go. So, you know, I'm not telling you that because I want to frighten everybody. I want us to understand. I keep seeing people say, oh, you know, it's going to be like Christmas when we go back. Well, it might be for 2 weeks. Christmas is only 2 weeks, right? So maybe it will be like Christmas. So maybe we need to be planning for 2 weeks and then a January and a February with 2 weeks of snow in there, right? So, yeah, and we've got here people are desperate to get their hair cut, but after the first influx, it might go. So there's a lot of uncertainty. So we must proceed with caution, okay? Let's not get excited. Let's be really savvy business people. But what opportunity we do have is this. When we first started our businesses, you know, there's a period of, for me, it's like over 30 years ago. And for some of you, I know it's as long. But, you know, there's that period of planning and dreaming. And we've got that opportunity to, you know, to kind of repurpose what we're doing. So that's, you know, that's such a great thing. And, you know, we've also got that opportunity to reset. So there are some things that, some projects that I had, which we're, you know, we're really pushing forward with. Like, let me give you an example. Passion for Hair is still open, but predominantly, like 99.9% predominantly, we are currently serving consumers. It's like completely new business for us. We you know, we didn't have the right size boxes. We've had to change our delivery model, the way we pick and pack things. We've had to change. It's like completely new business for us. Okay. Now I'm going to share with you that last week Passion for Hair did 25% of what we normally do. Okay, but that was all new business. Our existing business is you guys, and you're not ordering from us right now, and don't order from us right now. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a second, but what I'm trying to tell you is that now partnering with salons and serving consumers, those of you that many of you know that this is a project that we've been talking about. In fact, in the US, Euphoria already started it. And we've been sitting back and watching and waiting to see what lessons we can learn from Euphoria's experience. And we've kind of been propelled into that business. So I do want everybody to know that we don't sell anything to a consumer not at RRP. So it's always at RRP. They pay postage, and they pay the postage and packing. And some of the people that are on here can... they can testify to this because they're working with us on it. We are keeping we're keeping records of every single delivery that goes out, and the salon of the client, that salon will get, and we currently are giving people 40% of that gross profit. So you know, it's been a really interesting experience for everybody, and a great opportunity for us all when we go back. And it's something that we're not going to stop. We're already talking about how we will have to have separate picking and packing areas. We're getting new boxes. We're getting nice tissue paper. So your stuff all comes in bubble wrap and cardboard, right? But clients, it will come nicer. How we will always have a gift with purchase, because that's what companies like Look Fantastic do. So we're looking into how we can do that so that your clients can, you know, really take advantage of that, and you can too. Yep. So Kay's asked the question. So our guests can order through us and you deliver. That's correct. Yeah. And thank you for that, Marcus. I won't read that one out loud. But I appreciate it. So yeah, that they can order from you. At the moment, many people are furloughed in their own business, which means that you can't do activity that generates money, but it's okay. You can recommend your clients to us, and we're taking the payments from those clients, and we will make sure that bookkeeping will be integral, and your reward will come to you when the time is right. So There we are. That's good. So where are we? So that's trying to get us into the mindset of the opportunities that are there, okay? And there are many. So whilst there's an element of us that's a little bit worried, there's an element of us that's a little bit excited, right? So give me some thumbs up and some yeses and some whys and etc. etc. Okay, good. So whilst we're a bit worried, we're also a little bit excited of some of the opportunities that are there for us. Yeah, absolutely. Fresh beginnings, right? So why did I say three-dimensional? Well, a three-dimensional object is solid rather than flat, right? So a one dimension is flat. A three-dimensional, right, has many sides. Daniel's laughing at my example of my tissue box. That weren't planned. That was kind of impromptu. And it can be measured in three different directions, right? Usually the height, the length, and the width. So why am I making that analogy? Why am I making that analogy? You give me some feedback. Why do you think this is important? Yeah, we have to think about it from different aspects. The time we put in, our business isn't flat. We need to work as a team, right? When we talk about height, this could be the clients. Width, this could be the team, right? And the length, this could be the business. So we've got to look at it from different angles and different points of view, not just from our own point of view, because one of the things we have to understand is that our clients have choice. Okay, our clients have choice. So we don't want to go doing anything too crazy. I heard a webinar the other day. Someone was talking about ramping the prices up like 25%. Well, good luck with that, because I don't know, maybe your pricing is where you could do that. But I'm telling you that my salons, our pricing, we could not withstand ramping our prices up 25%, knowing that other salons around us won't do that. Okay, but some of the things we need to do are going to cost us money, and our margin is already like the smallest slither, on a cake that you could imagine. In terms of our gross profit on hairdressing services. Okay, so that's why I want us to think three-dimensionally, right, and not just flat, and and not just the first idea that comes to our head. Okay, so let's talk firstly about the team and team briefing, keeping the team briefed, because if we're going to make these changes, we've got to make sure, at the end of the day, the team are the ones that are going to be delivering these things. So what's the best way to keep the team informed and involved? So let's have some feedback if we could. That we've been doing, a timetable at Feathers, keeping our team engaged as much as we can. And it's hard. It's not easy, right? So you've had some group chats, some Zoom meetings, asking what they're happy to do, and what ideas they've got, right? At this point, I want to say, let's ask the team what ideas they've got and how they think, how they think it needs to change. What changes would they like to see? Now, at this point, I want to teach everybody, and I'm going to do it on this board because it's really important. So I'm going to do it on the whiteboard. Oh, can I have a clean whiteboard? How do I do that, Declan? Oh, I can't do that. That would take too long. Okay, no, wait a minute. Oh, that won't go away. Okay, I'm just going to do it. Okay, thank you, Dec. I think you took over. So, and I'm going to do it with this pen, and I'm going to choose a new color, right? Nice. Remember, Oh, maybe this was not such a good idea. We have to think about what are the absolutes. This wasn't so easy as I thought. And what are the desirables? So what do I mean by that? Oh, this is so much fun. It's therapeutic. Sounds like a typewriter, yeah. So okay, so what do I mean about this? What are the absolutes and what are the desirables? Things we must do and things we want to do. Yeah. So absolutes are things we must do. Desirables are things that we want to do, we'd like to do, they'd be nice to do. Because what we must always take into consideration is many other things, like cost is one of them, right? So I'm bringing that up at this point because if we ask the team, you know, they're going to come up with some things which are desirable, but probably not very practical. So it's really important that we precondition the team first to say, now, it's, you know, I'm going to ask you for your ideas. Your input is valuable. It's important that we all make decisions together moving forward. But at the end of the day, it's my job to take into consideration the absolutes and the desirables. In other words, what are the things that we absolutely have to do? What are the things that are nice to do? Would be, you know, they're a great idea, but we can't implement those things because to do so would not make good business sense. So, making sure that we do that, making sure that we make it really clear what will be required from them. Some of my team are on here, but they can testify to this. So on Sunday night, I went live in our team group. So I do that periodically where there's very, very important updates. It gets people's attention. It's not something I've ever done before, and I've gone live more in the last 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it is, than I have in my whole lifetime. So, during that live, which was an important update for the team, but I told them, I know who's engaging and who's not, right? And to put a finer point to it, in a very eloquent and kind way, because I like to think I'm a kind boss, and I've worked hard to be well respected, but I told them in no uncertain terms that the business has been loyal to them and they should repay that loyalty to the business. Now, I'm telling you that because I think it's really important. We've got a lot of people, thanks Elaine, we've got a lot of people, you know, in our company that are in that low positive, right? And I'm not judging that, and I'm not berating them for that at all. That's probably where they're safest right now. You know, I consider myself reasonably lucky. I've got a lot to focus on and a lot to do, but some people haven't. I'm also very lucky that, you know, I'm fairly much in control of my own destiny, whatever that may be. But for some people, they're not, right? They don't know whether they're going to have a job at the end of it. And it's all very well, you know, I go on there and I say, listen, you know, the company's in good shape and don't worry, everybody, and everyone's going to have a job. And our number one goal, because that's the other thing I tell them, my number one goal is to get my companies back open and every employee will have a job at the end of it. That's my number one goal right now. Now, how that moves on from there, I don't know, but I tell them that because that is the vision, and it is the vision. That doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, at the end of that, there may not be a period of adjustment. We're going to talk about that hopefully today. Perry's just put there, we also told them that the partners and I have not taken a wage, right? Because there's no self-employed money coming until June, and we have stopped all you know, drawings and we've stopped all of that to keep all the money in the business. right? So yeah, we've been really very honest with them. Okay, so I'm telling you that because I think it's really important that people know what's required of them. And then when people don't step up to the plate, we have a chance like never before for people to show their true colours. I wish I had this opportunity every week for people to be showing their true colours, you know, and not wearing their mask at work. You know, these targets, yeah. And so what do you need to, I know what I need to do. I need to recommend a friend, yeah, and I've got to do my 8 essential steps, yeah, I know what I've got to do, yeah. And like nothing changes. So, you know, this is a great opportunity, I feel. I'm sure we'll get some high fives on that one, right? So what behaviour changes are needed from the team? What do you think? What are your ideas? What behaviour changes do we need? Can you do our team meeting? Sharon, I've got some good news for you. I've got some really good news for you. Next week, next Wednesday, the title is Let's Talk Dialogue for Professional Stylists. That's what I'm doing next week. So get your stylists on here. Next week, I'm going to be telling them what they need to be doing if they want to be professional and successful. So I'm glad we're on the same page there, Sharon. Yes, I could be doing your team meeting for you next Wednesday at 11 o'clock. So what do we need from them? We need engagement. We need commitment. We need some extra hours initially. We need positivity, yes. We need flexibility. We need enthusiasm. Yeah, we need no more lip service. We need their true selves to turn up, to show up. We need them to be respectful and have great values and have their values aligned with the business. And let's be brave enough to say to them, you have a choice. And if your values are not aligned with what we're doing, there's plenty of other places out there. Go and find yourself another job, right? Let's be brave enough to say that to them. Good. We're getting some really great feedback here. Exceptional service. And when they don't give exceptional service, I hope you've all got a pad and a pen, because you're going to write this down right now with a big star. When your team don't give exceptional service, what are you going to do about it? Write it down on your piece of paper and then please type it there. What are you going to do? Tells me lots of people are typing, but nothing's coming through yet. When I was thinking about this morning, I was thinking, I wish, like, you see this, what's it called, this thing? It's called a feed. I was thinking we need like more than one feed. Yeah, we need loyalty, we need attitude changes. So the question I had asked is, when they don't give great service, or when their attitude, it stinks, right? Or when they're not doing what it is they're supposed to be doing, what are you going to do? I've got another question for you. When you've answered that one, you're going to walk the talk. Hang on. Pull them up on it. Oh, that's why I don't know why that happened. You're going to sack them. Good. I'm glad to hear it. You're going to make them accountable. You're going to ask them why. You're going to have a conversation instead of letting it go. For some reason, my feed had got stuck. Discussions on one-to-ones. Actions have consequences. Yeah. NNFVRL. There's a question mark. Take action straight away. That was going to be my next question. So you're going to take action. How quickly are you going to do it? How quickly are you going to take action? Immediately. Absolutely. Make this your new leadership style on accountability. Because what happens is so many times, you know, salon owners, well, no, I didn't talk to her about it. I felt it was trivial. Well, it couldn't have been trivial because you weren't happy with it. This is your salon. You're the one that's having sleepless nights. You're the one, if you're getting a loan, you're having to sign your house up to it. You're the one who's having to do they're all having a holiday. It's a beautiful sunny day today. They're out there sunbathing, whatever they're doing. You're the one that's having to fill in all the forms, talk to the HR people, talk to the banks, get onto the landlord. I don't think I've ever been busier on it. Like, it's crazy, right? And I'm sure you're the same. So let's remember this moment and make it change our leadership style so that it changes our business, and you will be happier as a result of it. It won't make you sadder. It will make you happier, right? So that's good. So we know that we need some behavior changes from the team. And right now, let me tell you that most of our team don't even know that. They think that when Boris says come back to work, they're going to get up in the morning, and which will be something they haven't done properly for a while. And I'm not judging that either, because my day is starting later. So, you know, I'm slower in the morning. We're enjoying being slow in the morning in the house. Our house is normally frantic in the morning, right? I'm normally like doing 8 things at once. I only do one thing at a time now. It's nice. So, are they going to be confident in returning? Now, we already talked about how we feel. We're a little bit worried, right? So, how are they going to be feeling? We're going to probably need to go one-on-one. Some of them might not want to, you know, Boris will say, right, you can go back. And some people might be, well, there's still people with, my granddaughter calls it the corona. Is it the corona now? Everything's the corona, right? So, I don't know, maybe they're not going to be confident in returning. We have to think about that. How we're going to handle that, what we're going to do about it, what can we do? Anyone got any feedback for that? Right, let's do each one a return interview, right? Well, if we have a period of absence from work, people should do a return to work report. That should be something that you do, right? So we should do some return to works. And of course, you can do those over the telephone. If somebody's, you know, more comfortable doing them by messenger, you can do that. But we definitely should have some return to work. And Declan will be saving these questions, and we'll how do we set them up for a return? Well, I think the return to work interviews are imperative. The question is, at what point do we do them? What I think I know is that the return will be staged. And I have previously said that I thought that our industry would be one of the first they would want to get back. I'm not going back on that. I think they would like to get us back quickly. I think that we are fairly financially a heavy responsibility, our industry. However, because there are so many other industries that are easier to return than us, I think we'll be staged down the line a little bit, which will be good because it will give us an opportunity to know that it's coming. Okay, so I think that whilst it may be, you know, we were told to close literally overnight, I think we may be told to open literally like with 2 or 3 days notice, but we will know that it's coming because other industries would have been told they can go back. So for an example, in Spain, they yesterday allowed some people to go back to work. My father lives in Spain. I have 2 stepbrothers in Spain. One of them went back, the other one didn't, right? One was allowed to go back, the other one wasn't. One is, he works, I would call it construction, but it's not really. He works on yachts. He works on yachts. He's a skipper on yachts. So he went back yesterday. The other one does, he does like laser face treatment things and whatever. Anyway, he's very hands-on one-to-one. He's not allowed back yet. So so that's good. So Jane had put here, when we know the open date, we could do a staggered opening. Yes, we could. You don't necessarily have to have everybody back at the same time. So it's something that I'm going to consider, not having everyone back at the same time. It will depend, of course, if we still have 3 months left of the furlough, what a nice luxury that will be. But if we've run out of furlough by then, we're going to have to think about either using the layoff if it's in your contract, which means we then have to consider whether we have to do the £29 per day for 5 days or whatever that complicated little conundrum is, right? Or of course, if it's in your contract, you also have the opportunity to use short time. So we've got some other, we're going to, no appointment overlap, so that we don't jump about. Some of these, if we can do it in the order of the presentation, so bring those things back. Were they given a notice period of return in Spain? They were given, I think they were given 3 days. It was like 2 or 3 days. And let me tell you what did happen yesterday. My dad sent me, I should have put the video up in the presentation. My dad lives in Mallorca, and people like the road, the motorway into Palma from, my dad lives in the north, from the north, there was like miles of tailback, people trying to get back into Palma to get to work. And some of them were not allowed to. So the police were stopping everybody and turning some people back and saying, no, you're not allowed to be back at work. So, yeah, there was a little bit of a... okay, so George has put, we won't meet financial targets if staggered. Yeah, I get that. I understand. Let's talk about that a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. So let's talk about clients' needs and expectations, because this is also another thing, right? We're expecting this. I've seen, you know, on Facebook videos of like, this would be what happened when the salon's open, you know, and a rush for the door. And for some people, yes. And for others, maybe not. I mean, if we go back within the next 8 weeks, which God willing we will, right? Over 70s are still on a 12-week lockdown. So any clients you've got over 70 won't be coming. Then you've got and then we've got vulnerable clients. We've got people who are a little bit concerned. We've got people who are, you know, warriors, right? So what are the clients' needs and expectations? Sharon's put here, I wonder if clients will also be nervous initially to be back in close contact with people. Should we be considering this and staggering appointment times? So, and then Matt put, supermarkets aren't social distancing. They're working back to back. So this is where I want us to think 3-dimensionally, because something happened over the weekend which really surprised me. And I think that you know that I did this 100, it was actually 108 care packs out to NHS workers, and I wanted to impact. I didn't want to just drop like 108 off at Northampton General Hospital, which you can't do. You can't go directly to the hospital, but you know, I wanted them to be spread out a little bit, and I wanted to get it direct. So you may have seen it on social media. We sent them all over the country. Anyway, so people have been sending me pictures of the nurses receiving them, and I think the pictures that up there on my social media. Go and have a look. They are not 2 meters apart. Okay, just saying. was interesting. So yeah, I was in the supermarket. Matt, I had to go yesterday for some milk. I went to our little local one. Like, I was desperately trying. I've got my mother in the house, right? So I am really trying to keep it out of my house. And people are not keeping the distance like they should in the supermarkets. So, you know, some are worried. Mags has put here, staff that are pregnant may decide they don't want to put themselves at risk. That's 2 of her 5 stylists. Yeah, well, if a stylist is uncomfortable coming back, it's interesting. Janice, I'm having the same thoughts. I think that we might have some people who say, I don't want to come back. Some people are afraid. They might not come out of their houses for months yet. So I don't know legally what we could and should do. And if we try and get answers at the moment from the HR people, they're not ready to answer those questions yet, you know, so they're furloughed at the moment. Let's leave them there. But at some point, you know, there has to be a decision about what happens to those people. So we must take these things into consideration. And maybe we want to have those conversations with those people. I mean, Mags, what I would say about, you know, your girls that are pregnant, they already know whether they're comfortable to come back or not. So it could be a conversation that you have. Andy said, I did 478 before I went in. I did 478 before I went in. What? Oh, sorry, the breathing. The breathing. I thought you were talking about number of clients. You did the breathing. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But look, here's the other thing. I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, so Susan says she works by herself, so it'll be okay one-to-one for you. So you only have to consider clients and how they're going to feel about this. So I'm already planning to temporarily convert a couple of the upstairs rooms in the salon to help with social distancing, and I think that's a really good idea. I mean, I think here's some other thoughts have people got, because I don't want it to just be my thoughts. I'm sure you're all having similar things. I'm definitely going to take okay, so Abby's saying 1 client at a time per stylist. I'm going to tell you I am not going to do that, and I'm going to show you why in a second. That will financially ruin my business. So I am not going to do that. I have a different plan. Remove the waiting area. Yeah, that is one of the things that I'm going to do, Ian, although I am really concerned for clients that arrive early and there's no waiting area. Okay, so I am a little bit concerned about that. That is something that doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, but it does mean that we do have to think about what are we going to do with that. Open 7 days and spread out the staff and clients. Yep, I think that is something that will be a good thing to do. If we're lucky enough to have space and we can spread people out and let everybody know. Yep. Yeah, you've already got no waiting area. That's correct. You made some changes before you finished, so keep those. Get people to wait in their car and text them when you're ready. And if you're like, people park right near to your salon, Jane, so that'd be really good. That wouldn't work for a couple of my salons. People have to park quite a way away, right? So, but yeah, text them when the chair is ready. So that's a great idea. Let's talk about that chair being ready, right? In between every single client, we need to be making sure that we are really like sanitizing the area. Now, here's the question. How will we make sure the client knows that? So, yeah, so Danielle put, maybe we should send a message to clients before telling them that they can't wait due to social distancing. I think, so whilst we're on that one, I do think that there will be new information that we will send clients. One of them will be that, you know, some of the social distancing measures that we've put in place for a couple of reasons. One, so that we can, you know, let them know that we are taking care of it and we are considering it, we're taking action. Secondly, I think we should do that because we need the client to comply with that, right? So I don't know when the last time you went to go and get a passport, anyone, but the last time I went to go and get a passport, it was raining, pouring with rain, and they wouldn't let me in the door until my appointment time. And people were literally, not just me, there were dozens of people stood outside in the rain. And it did tell us that, but everyone still got there. So what else have we got? Yeah, we will have to continue with hand sanitizers. I don't know how many of you saw Census have released theirs. I won't flick all the way through the thing. I can show you a little bit later. Yeah, do it in front of them. Yeah, the problem with that is I thought about that too, Jill, but then they're going to be standing there. Think toilet roll in hotels, right? You know, with a little pointy bit. So it could be that we clean it all. I mean, one of the things I've thought about is using Dettol. I mean, one of the things about Dettol, and I'm using it at the moment for my mum, not for my mum, like when I'm cleaning for my mum. She has her own bathroom and her own room down there. And so when I clean there, I do it with Dettol, because then we know you can smell it, right? Of course, you know, you might want to use the Flora, right? Because that's also the same, but that's up to you. I like the smell of that too, and I have got that as well. Yeah, a client pack when they come in with a clean gown and a clean set of combs and a collar. I don't know, is the client going to want a disposable gown, right? That's something that I'm looking at. We already use disposable towels in my business. I would like to do disposable gowns, and I do think that is something that people would pay extra for. It depends how much it's going to be, and I'm not able to give you that answer yet. Yeah, email clients the plan, educate the customers like we do the staff. Yes, I think we should put it on social media. Once you've got your sanitation protocol, I think you should publish it, social media, on your website, send emails, no magazines. Yeah, I think that people won't want them. They won't, you know, want those. Have timings for the appointments and cleaning on the mirror. Yeah, you could do that, but disposable towels, yeah, disposable gowns and towels. There you go. Leeds said in hospital they put green "I'm clean" post-it notes on chairs and equipment. Okay, I really like that. Yeah, there you go. Clients, yeah, no turning up early or late. What else have we got? When will Passion have them? Let me address that in a little while. When will we get the Census sanitizers? Let me address that. Okay, so Crystal, surely if it's advised safe to go back, we can go back, but have extra cleaning precautions still. Okay, so I'm glad that you have brought that up, Crystal, because remember, we've talked about this a lot. Everyone's living life through the prism of their own beliefs, right? And has everybody become over, like, terrified of this thing? And I don't know what the answer of that is. But the reason for the lockdown is to protect the National Health Service, so that we don't end up with, you know, we've got, I'm just going to use any number, 5,000 beds and 15,000 people turn up for them, right? That's what the lockdown is about. Okay, it's because a lot of people have coronavirus and don't even know they've had it, and some people have had it and okay, it's not been that pleasant, but they've survived it. But we do have, but if we have older people and vulnerable people, then, you know, for those people, then it's devastating. So, and this is not my opinion, okay? So please don't go hating on me, everybody, because everyone's living through their own, you know, their own prism and paradigm. But, you know, we do have to, if they said it's safe to go back, then it's safe to go back using the precautions. Let's ask Mrs. Hinch. Yeah, Dettol, Norwex, don't know what that is. Yeah, it's a flora. I honestly feel it'll be normal by August. People are dying to connect the way it was. Once it's improving, people will relax. Let's hope so. Some other recommendations. My God, all we need on here is my mum used to bath us in Dettol. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful smell. Me too. So we're going to need extra PPE. Yeah, don't bring a friend, come alone. Visible cleaning rotors. I've got to catch up with you all. You probably are all reading all this, and my thing. Someone who has allergies, smells are not good. Yeah. Could we open only hours for one-to-one out for over 70s like supermarkets are doing? Okay, so at this point, I'm going to, yeah, I also had that thought. Thinking about different people with different prisms, okay? I have no doubt that, I mean, I want you to know that Feathers do between 750 and 1,000 clients a week, okay? It's actually in my book, because it was one of the things I told the judge when I won that case at court. I said to him, sir, we do between 750 and 1,000 clients a week in, week out. Success like that doesn't come from shoddy procedures and whatever. I can't even remember what I said now. It's in the book. But anyway. So we're going to have like people who like are not concerned. Whoever it is out there that goes out and sunbathes and whatever they do, right? You know, we're going to have a couple of them, and we're going to have some people who are going to lock themselves away until months and months and months later, right? And then it maybe we get another outbreak of it next winter, and maybe they won't come out their house, I don't know, forever. Who knows, right? So, but we're going to have all these different shades of grey. So I had thought about, we have, for an example, and this is a good time for me to tell you this model. So, and I'll do it on the whiteboard. So, on a Tuesday, we have our Colour Tuesday, 30% off a colour service with a full price cut and blow dry. It's our busiest day of the week. It's the day we take most money. We take more money on a Tuesday than a Saturday. Let me get the whiteboard, and I've done this some, and I'm going to do it again. How do we clear this whiteboard? Thank you, Dec. I'm going to take, for an example, Kim, right? Many of you know Kim. I use Kim as an example a lot because she's a great poster child. She does everything right. She's a really good stylist. She's earning a ton of money. She told me, when we go back, I'm doing extra days, extra hours. I've got to get all my clients in. If I don't get them in, they'll go somewhere else. So it would be best, I think, if I do this with the text thing. So on a Tuesday, Kim works, she works 12 hours. She does from 9 till 9. So we do a 12-hour day, and she works all 12 hours. That's what Kim decides. That's what she does. She's on the top level. We have 5 levels. She's on the top level. Let's say that Kim's colour service, let's say, so currently she takes a half-hour break halfway through the day. She might take 2 half hours because she's supposed to, but knowing Kim, she probably doesn't. But she does 45-minute appointments, a 45-minute in between, and then 45 minutes for the cut and style for that client, so a linked appointment, and then she puts another client overlap there, right? So on a Tuesday, typically, she'll do like, how many clients typically? I worked this out already yesterday. I did this, was trying to work out some pricing to see what we would have to do. Hold on. So she does 2 clients in, wait a minute, 2 clients in, right, 8 to 10 clients. Right, thank you. 8. No, I think it's even more. And I think she does, yeah, between 8 and 10 clients she does on a Tuesday. Okay, so let's say she does 9. Okay, so 9, and if her colour price was £100 and she gives 30% off, that is 9 times £70. Yes, so 9 times £70. Should have done this first. 9 times. Hold on, wait a minute. My brain's gone. I wrote this down on a piece of paper yesterday, and it's in a big pile of pieces of paper of stuff that I'm working on upstairs in the office upstairs. Right, no, hang on. I know what I was going to do. Sorry. Right, number of clients. Right, that's important. Equals. So we're talking here that she is going to do 9, like it's 9 clients, right? So 9 times 70 equals 720. Thank you. And she charges £55 for a cut and style. And in order to get that price, and this is all she does on Tuesdays, okay? She's a very, very busy stylist. So she does 9 times 55. So 9 times 55 equals, it's 630, is it? 9 times 70 is 630. Yes, thank you. Okay, you were testing me, were you? And I failed. My days of being able to talk and chew gum are way gone, so I can't talk and do maths at the same time. 9 times 55 is going to be 495. That was what was in my head. It wasn't what came out of my mouth. Okay, so the total of that, with no retail, the total of that is 1125. Okay, that's what we've got there. That's with VAT. So let's take the VAT off, please. Let's take the VAT off. Let's take the VAT off. So somebody do this for me. So 1125 divided by 1.20 equals £900. Thank you. Okay. So that's what we have, £900. Now, her commission on that, Perry, would it be 37%? Her commission on that. See, I'm giving all the... I don't care anymore. No, it's 37. She's put 36, but it's not. I'm sure. Is Kim on here? I'm sure it's 37%. Because she qualifies for that other bonus, 4-weekly bonus. Yep, there you go, and she does. Oh, Karen, thank you. It's 30. I stand corrected. What would I know? I only own the bloody place. Right. So 900 times 36% equals. This is an important sum. Equals, all right, Perry, 300. Okay, so for the day's work, she gets £324. The salon gets £900. Okay, so if she was to only do 1 client at a time, this means that, gosh, it'd be a 2.5 hour appointment. She can only do 5 clients in a day, correct? So now I've got to somehow get 5 clients. So I've got to get her average income per client. I don't want to do that there. I want to do it over here. We've got to get her. So her average income per client is 100. Her average income per client ex VAT. Okay, £900. 9 clients. It's £100. In order for the business to have the same money, not more, remembering that we've got to now start supplying more gloves, more sanitizer, disposable gowns for the clients, whatever. I've got to somehow get her average income per client just so that the salon and she can be in the same position. Okay, I've got to get that 900 divided by 5. 900 divided by 5. I hope I've not lost anybody here. Equals 180. I've got to nearly double her price. That is how businesses go out of business. So it's not an option. As much as I would really like to do that, it is not an option for us on a Tuesday, because it's the day we take the most money as a business, and it's the day my stylists move immediately from minimum wage to commission, and the rest of the week all becomes a building on their wages, right? And that's my business model. That's the model. That's how we started. I invented colour sales, by the way, people, at 365. I invented, like, I'm not talking about no, not colour sale. We used to do colour sales. We used to do week ones 3 times a year, and I invented colour days. I went to Leslie with the idea, and he said to me, you run the idea in your salon and see how it goes, right? So, right, so someone put, no, Andy, I won't stop the discount. We have to find 1,000 clients a week, right? So, when you're working alone and all you've got to do is find 30 clients a week, that's very, very different to finding 1,000 clients a week. It's a completely different model, right? And that's why we have to think 3-dimensionally. And that is why there will be different solutions for different people. And I have no doubt that if there is a stylist in our area who declares that I only take 1 client at a time, it could be that we might lose some clients that want that, but I'm going to come to that in a second. Okay, so let me come to it in a second. So, so here is what I'm thinking. I've not decided, but it's what I'm thinking. Is that like Kim, for an example, will work with a dedicated person, like a doctor and nurse team, and the client will know that they're working with this one and this one, and those 2 will dedicate their time to that client, because we can make that work, right? But yeah, but Boo has put there, funnily enough, we talked about that. Somebody might want to see what Boo said there, because Feathers were a massive recipient of the clients they lost. So on a Tuesday, we're going to have to adjust what we do in a different way. Luckily, we think we've got space in all of our salons to distance our clients out. We do think that not everybody will want to come now, but here, coming back to the other point of clients that don't want that, right? What I'm thinking about doing is having a day where it is and I don't know what to call it yet, but it's a social distancing day. And if you are a client who is concerned about that, this is the day for you. This is the day where we only take 1 client at a time, right? And in doing that, we're not going to blow our business model up overnight, because we can't. Because I already told you, we're already working on a slither of a profit margin, a slither. And I know there are going to be extra costs that we're going to have to incur. And yes, we are going to put our prices up, but if we put our prices up, hang on, let me just tell you again, the economy is going to be at a 35% hit downwards. People are going to lose their jobs. Businesses will go. There will be some businesses that are going to come out of all of this, right? And it'll be nothing but sale, where they're trying to get rid of all the summer stock that was delivered to them 4 weeks ago, right? So that's why we must think about 3-dimensional, 3-dimensional solutions. We've got to think really very carefully about it, because what do you think if I did go in and I said to Kim, okay, this is what we're going to do? What do you think Kim will do? Yep. There's a very good chance that Kim will go and find a salon that will allow her to do her clients in the way that she and her clients want the service to be done. So, you know, we've got to think about all things. Now, at this point, we talked about, you know, getting the team to ask them what they think is going to be different. Here's something else I'm going to embark on. So I've on Salon IQ, and for people that are using other systems, I'm sure you can do this, but I don't know how you do it. But for Salon IQ, you can ask Salon IQ for your top clients by spend. It's actually a really easy thing to do. So I've pulled off the report of all the top clients by spend of each salon, and I also pulled off the clients of the top clients by retail spend. Okay, it's a real easy thing to do on Salon IQ. In fact, I might even have, if you want me to, I can. I'll put it in the group afterwards. Let me make a note of what you do in case you don't know how to get that. So I'm going to ask those clients what they expect to see, so that I can get some idea of exactly, instead of trying to second guess, what is it the clients want. So I'm going to run like a consultation period, if you like, with clients, a feedback period, and ask the clients we're going to be making some changes to our business. And before we make our minds, thanks, Sam, there you go. Before we make our minds up, you know, what do you want to see? What will be important for you? And that will give us some idea that we are moving in the right direction. So, okay. Where are we? Got to get the presentation. So, social distancing is it's gonna be one of the biggest things. In thinking about it, I think to myself, well, we're luckier than nail techs, because at least we are the clients facing that way and we're facing that way. I mean, nail techs, and you know, and I think some of you know that I'm really looking forward to seeing my nail tech. You know, they are quite close. Beauty therapists, you know, they're quite close. Jill said, how are we going to contact them? I'm going to do it by email. We are doing telephone contact with clients, but I'm going to ask that particular thing by email because I want people to, you know, consider their response, as it were. And Penny put, there might be government guidelines. Yeah, there could be, although we're not a regulated industry. So, what do I expect? Oh, that's a good question, Matt. But and there are already government guidelines in place, you know, that say that, you know, we've got to stay 2 meters away. I mean, I don't know how they're going to be able to say, except for hairdressers who are allowed to touch people. You know, I'm not sure, but maybe it will. I mean, I just think the government are too busy to come up with those guidelines for us. NHBF might give us some guidance. They've not yet, but that could be. And then Matt's asked question, what do you expect from your nail tech? That's a really, okay, so it's a really good question. I've got to tell you, she already has excellent, and always has had excellent hygiene. When I go there, the first thing she does, I put my hands out, obviously, and the first thing she does is give me hand sanitizer, and then she puts it in her own hands. And while she's talking to me, she's going like this for quite a long time, right? So I also have to do the same for quite a long time. Otherwise, do you know what I'm saying? So I'm quite confident that when I go back to her, you know, it'll be okay. She's also a very I know that she's a fit and healthy person. And I like to think I am too. So I'm really not that concerned. Anyway, that put me on the back foot, but it was a really interesting thing. Possibly a screen between both, Ian said. Yeah, possibly, but then the face mask would suffice, wouldn't it? I don't know. Well, we have to consider wearing masks. We don't know yet whether we will. There isn't a single... I was trying to find out some, information about hairdressers that have gone back in China, and I've not been able to find anything. And Matt said, we've got to remember that if we're told it's safe, it's safe. Yeah. And it's all about this degree of people's risk. That's what it is. It's about your attitude towards risk. So different people's attitude towards risk are going to be different, and that's what's going to be most difficult. So our sanitation policies and activities. So your protocol, whatever it's going to be, and you've got time now to do this, and we can do this one, right? So let's write it down. We probably already informally got it. Kay put, they're back, but they're limited to opening 9 to 4 in China. Yeah, but more than the opening, I'm more interested in knowing are they wearing a mask? Are they cutting hair with gloves? I mean, what are they doing? God, it was bad enough to get hairdressers to wear gloves to colour hair in this country. So make an you can get your sanitation policies and activities in place. And we can call it a protocol. Whilst we're talking about protocols, let's remember that when our clients come back, we're going to need to skin test every client, without a doubt. Oh, and by the way, I've made a note. I'm going to skin test every team member. If some people have had coronavirus and don't even know they've had it, I know of one person particularly comes to mind, but I've actually read about this as well. But I actually know somebody who had coronavirus and has now got the most horrendous skin problems that they didn't have before. I don't know why that is. I've read about that as well, that people are ending up with skin problems afterwards. So I'm going to be skin testing the team before they come back. And I would say skin testing clients before you do their hair is going to be really important, because we don't know what's happened to people's immune systems. And the immune system is the part of the body that causes that elicits the reaction, right? So I think that's going to be really quite important, in my opinion. So refreshments and magazines, we already said about magazines. That'd be a good thing. We'll be saving some money with the magazines. Matt put, skin problems have been recognised as a pattern. Also, it has been recognised with a virus. It causes secondary trauma to the body and it comes out of the skin. Yeah. So why skin test the team? Well, because if they have, why? I mean, why not, actually? I'm going to send them all a colour start, right? So it's going to cost me 70 pence per person. I'm going to ask them to put the skin test on, and I'm going to ask them to report 48 hours later whether or not they've had a reaction. I mean, I'm just going to do that. God forbid that one of them came back, and remembering, of course, that if people get not industrial, what is it called when they get skin problems that are caused through their job? Anyway, call me paranoid, having been so close to being sued so many times. With regard to refreshments, would you use disposable cups? Okay, so yeah, I too have seen a lot of people about disposable cups. Right, one of the challenges we've got with that is that the environmentalists might be quiet, but they've not gone away. So I don't know is the answer to disposable cups, but even as somebody who cares deeply about the environment, even with disposable cups, I find them such such an oxymoron. Like, what's wrong with a good old-fashioned cup? So personally, in our sanitation protocol, we're going to invite clients to bring their own cup. You know, so that they know that we've thought about it. But yeah, a lot of people are saying good hot washing. Yeah, there's no reason why that can't. Interestingly, I asked, yeah, because that's the other thing, too much waste. And remembering, as businesses, we have to pay to have the waste taken away. You know, so I think we have to be sensible, and it's why dialogue's important. But let me, wait a minute, there was a point I had then in my head and it's gone. It will come back. I wish we were all in a room. Wouldn't we be having such a great... We'd be having such a great time. Okay, be kind to clients that have cut and coloured their own hair. Because we are going to have clients that have cut and coloured their own hair, whether we like it or not. They're going to be quite nervous about coming in. When I do next week, the hairdressers dialogue for professional hairdressers, I'm actually going to teach them dialogue of how to respond to a client who comes in and has coloured her own hair, because I think we're going to get a lot of that. It's interesting. Boo's asked a question, does that mean snack baskets are a no-no now? Well, when I think about, like, what I always try and do is I always try and think about other businesses and how it equates. So our snack baskets are no-no now. Well, I mean, think about Starbucks. What are they going to do? You know, if the thoughts we're having about refreshments are like the only thoughts, the only answer, you know, what are Starbucks going to do? They've gone the opposite way. Starbucks have said, you can't bring your own cup. Pardon? Yeah, Daniel just said, what's the cinema going to do? I don't know. I don't go to the cinema, but Daniel does. He goes with his friend. What are the cinema going to do? So I'm not sure about that. So Maria says she's going to make sure all her clients have a mineral cleanse before she colours again, even if they haven't coloured their own hair. And that's a really good idea, because maybe you know, the clients are using a root touch up and it's not one of ours, right? We know that ours are you know, they're good. They're like one time they brush out, right? But others are not like that. So that would be a really good idea. Incompatibility tests, yes, would be a good idea. So we need to be kind to clients who have cut or coloured their own hair. I think one of the things that I've been considering, and actually this is something that Carly and I have been talking about, oh gosh, for a year or maybe more. Some of you will remember when we've talked about this. Give me a yes if you remember. But doing digital and telephone consultations. Now, what this will do is it will give us the opportunity to plan the right amount of time in the salon. And we've got a really good excuse now for saying to clients, it's really important that when you come in, we know exactly what it is that you need doing. So that I can, you know, plan your appointment accordingly. So this is a really good opportunity to add value to what we're doing. Okay, so I've put digital stroke phone because some people, you know, different people will have different ways that they'll want to do it. Debbie, can we use skin tests that expire in May for May clients? Yeah, you can. But don't use them beyond. And the current date on skin tests that are going out is September. Just so that you know, that just came off the top of my head. So I think that is something we should be doing. It's going to be time consuming, but I think it's a great added value. So, you know, for very busy stylists, I don't know when we're going to start getting. So Crystal said she's done some virtual consultations and she's sold retail products. I know with some of the salons that are doing a lot of retail, and there are some that are doing amazing retail. Some of them are saying they're doing more retail now than they were doing before. Jill, I ordered 5 packs of Colour Start a few weeks before lockdown. No, if you ordered them from us, they're probably September. We were on September for a while. Just check. Yeah, some people are saying that's how they're selling retail to clients, you know. I think that's something definitely that I would like to put into my business. Some just want to chat. Yeah. Okay. Thinking about appointments and how much effort we're going to go into deposits. Oh my God, we've been talking about this for more than a decade, I should think, as an industry. But what a great opportunity to get deposits into place, in my opinion. Now, I already told you that I've identified our top clients. So I'm going to give those clients VIP status, and our top clients, unless they are serial, unless my stylists tell me they're serial, you know, cancel at the last minute people, or no-show people. But I'm going to give some clients like a VIP status where they don't have to give a deposit, but we'll put a T&Cs in there and it'll be 2 strikes and you're out. And we're going to start putting deposits. Daniel might be able to answer that question, Ian. Anyone else got anything to say about? Do you let them know why they are VIP? Yeah, Michelle, really good. And again, I've got a call this afternoon actually with my managers, and we're going to talk more about this and make some decisions. But yeah, we are going to let them know. We're going to tell them that we've identified them as one of our most important clients through our system. And there are some changes we need to make in our business. So number one, you know, we're interested in their feedback. What do they want? What changes do they expect to see from us or want to see from us? And number two, that we are putting a deposit system in place because we get a lot of no-shows, et cetera, and you know, and that as a VIP client, they will not have to do that deposit. Matt said we deposit all new guests and online bookings. What do you do, Matt? How much? Someone asked how much. I know what I've got in my mind, but I'm interested in other people. 50%. Yeah. Laura, you already do 25 or you're asking 25? I mean, I was thinking 50%. When the client makes the appointment, 50%. And we'll put some T&Cs there and say if the client gives us umpty-ump notice, they can change the appointment. You know, I just do £30 for an appointment over £100. I spoke to some, which is 30%. We do 25 for regular no-showers and late counsellors, but not for all. Yeah, you know, the problem when you have 5 salons, like you have to have a system. You know, sometimes I really long for those days when I was in the salon all the time and I could just like, you know, shoot from the hip and make a decision about that and do this and do that. It can't be that way. Go and do the report and you'll see, Leanne. Sam put it up there. Go and you'll see who your top ones are. Did anyone see Sophia Hilton's message on deposit? What was it? What was her message on deposit? I think I did, but I can't be sure that it was her that I... Right, what did she say, Sophia Hilton? Who told me about that? I feel, what was her message on deposits? Because I think what it might have been, Top 10 clients, top 20. Do you mean 10% or 20%? It comes out as 2 pages. I don't know what that is. Maybe Sam can tell us. She's on here. Is it just that it gives you the top, however many 2 pages are, Sam? It was asking for clients to pay in advance for their hair to keep the salon going. Oh, I did see that. Yeah, that was a faux pas in my opinion. At that point, I was like, I would not give you £5. You've just told me that your business might not keep going. Okay, so it gives you your top clients in the given date range, like just 2 pages full. Is it, Sam? Just 2 pages full, yeah. Okay, so, and if you do the report, honestly, it's really cool. It's like 2 minutes and you email it to yourself. It's really good. Okay, so let's talk. Have we done enough there, do you think, about clients? And can anyone think of anything else? I don't want to move on. I mean, I wanted this to be where you guys were putting your input into. I think we've covered everything. Any examples of when to keep the deposit changing days? Yeah, we will deposit everyone soon, deposit only. Somebody told me, I can't remember who it was, but somebody told me that when they implemented deposits into the business, then the no-shows and late cancellations, like near enough. In fact, I think it may have been Kimberly, Sam. Thinking about it, no-shows and late cancellations almost became like nothing. If it was something like, so the client had a real bona fide reason, and then of course you can override it if you want to. But what it did make people do, if they couldn't make the appointment, it made them contact the salon the 42 or 72 hours before. There you are. I'm sure it was a conversation with Kimberly. I've remembered now. We rarely have any no-shows or cancellations. Yeah, Marcus, that's exactly what happened for us. Yeah, there's Kimberly. It was you and I that were having that conversation, Kimberly, I remember now. Okay, so I think we've got everything with team and with, if not, if you suddenly have something, jump in there. So let's talk about our business community for a while. Let's find out what others are doing. And I don't know how you can do that. So, I don't know how much in touch you are with the local businesses. I'm sure they're on Facebook and stuff, but just find out what they're doing and what they're expecting. I'm sure that they would really appreciate finding out what their neighbours are doing. I'm sure, like me, you're all very engaged in our industry, right? But we don't know what's happening, whereas normally, you pop in the local shop, the bakers, whatever you're doing around where you work. You've not been doing that for a little while. So I think that would be something really good to do. Some people are typing, so that's good. Let us know what's going on with that. The first time you've been in personal contact with other local salon owners. Yeah, and that's a good thing to do. Not everyone's going to survive, right? So I know some salons that have recruited some people already. Someone made a group for all the salons in my area, and we've been posting and supporting each other. Yeah, and that's good. You can all bring your teeth out again afterwards. Nobody wants to see people's dreams shattered, through no fault of their own. But we can also do some cross-promoting and support. We can do that with local businesses. A good way of getting people back would be not just doing, I've thought about doing events, as I'm sure you guys have, but people don't want to necessarily come to a big party. But depending on what time of year it is, the whole of your street, your shopping street or parade could do some kind of, some kind of street celebration. We want to celebrate that we're all open. It's a really good opportunity, because then you're only asking people in nice weather to walk down the street and support you all, as it were. It's just an idea that I had. So let's talk about preparing for reopening. So let's be prepared to capture every profit opportunity, because at the end of the day, that's, well, you could do a square one, Matt. Square, I'm thinking Crystal Palace, you're thinking East Dulwich. Yeah, but there could be something you could do. Anyway, prepare to capture every profit opportunity, which is really, really important. I mean, once we get open, let's remember this. There are some people who are on 80% wages with nothing to spend it on. Now, I know that at the other end of the scale, there are some people that have lost their jobs and they've got rent to pay and So I realise that. But one of the mistakes that people make is we assume everybody's in the same, mindset that we are. So people haven't been able to, spend money. When we come out, people won't be able to, they won't be booking holidays. The staycation, this will be in my opinion, this will be the renaissance of the staycation. People say, I've enjoyed being at home so much. Every year I'm going to have a week of self-isolation and it will be my staycation. I predict that. I think people will do that, and they literally will cut themselves off from the world, right? And they'll just stay indoors for a week, because there's an element of that people have really enjoyed. In thinking about those profit opportunities, what are some of the things that you guys have been thinking about? Yeah, I agree that hair is always a priority. I also think as well that people are going to have a new appreciation for hair, and also for hairdressers. I think a lot of people are going to have scalp problems. A lot of people are going to have hair problems. I think that if we play our cards right, I'm waiting to see people come up. I'm thinking, the census kits, right? I think that they will do really well. I think clients will love to buy those, remembering that many of those kits are like £20. A census shampoo and conditioner is like under £20. So, Malibu Sea upgrades. Yes, Tommy, I agree. I think people will be more interested in keeping in their house things. So like the Malibu Sea sachets, I think this is going to be a renaissance for Malibu Sea sachets, where people are able to maintain their hair at home without having to worry about keep coming to us. Laura, I think that hair and scalp practitioner, Laura's part of that program. There's many of you on here that are part of that program. I think that this is a great opportunity for that. Making sure, now this will mean making sure that when we open, you're ready and waiting for all of this. And this is not a, it is, I don't care. But if you think about passion for hair for a second, if everybody goes back and then decides they want to make an order, I mean, God, we'll be packing orders all day and all night. So if you know what it is that you need, pre-order. Okay, pre-order. You've got your order ready. Jill, let us have it. We won't invoice it to you until we release it. But if you let us have it, we'll pack it up. We'll put it in a box. It'll have your name on it, and we'll store it for you. And then when you're ready, we'll send it to you, right? And so if you do that, number one, you'll get your stock. Mind you, now, having said that, I want everyone to know that before all this started, I promised you all that we had enough stock in our warehouse to last, depending on speed of sales, to last to the end of May, June. Now, remember that we've been, you know, we've been inactive in terms of, you know, colour and stuff like that for 4 weeks, right? So call it June stroke July, and since then we had another order in. So we have plenty of stock. But I am going to tell you, there's going to be lots of companies that run out of stock. We've missed you doing your orders too, Jill. No, Tommy, since in the last 2 weeks, we have had an order come in from Euphora, one from Census, one from Malibu, one from Simonson. In fact, we've got stuff from Simonson that we've not even released out to you guys yet, but we're about to. And it's literally like it came last week, but we've got the pastel irons in. We've got a unicorn brush, a lion brush, and we were talking about this the other day. If we put them out and you guys put them out, we think that you'll get some orders because people love that stuff, you know. You know, the coloured, maybe, I don't know how we can get you to see a picture. Maybe we'll put it up on the group straight after this. Some of the pictures, Daniel. Oh, compact dryer in white. Special edition compact wire in white comes with the special edition comes with a free diffuser. So Jill said, do we have the colour brushes back in from Euphora?
No, Euphora are out.
Oh, the conceal? Euphora, no. Oh, a couple of people. Yeah. You see conceal? Euphora are out. We're out. Euphora out. Everyone's out of conceal. An adjustable flow diffuser. Are you asking me, Andy, or telling me? No, you're telling me because you've used it. It's an adjustable flow diffuser.
It is correct.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Jill said, I've just given all of my staff an H.H. Simonson tool each to use and try and do a video for social media and then use in the salon when we are back. That's great. One of my stylists, Constance, did a tutorial last week with the MIDI waver, Simonson MIDI waver, and we sold 3 MIDI wavers that day. So that was good. Keeping her retail skills together. Yeah, she's a good girl. Okay, so yeah, we need to think about those upgrades, but of course we don't want to be upgrading in the chair because all the things we've talked about, you know, we're going to throw out of the window. So that's where the digital consultations come back, because this is where we're able to upgrade our clients. But when we do next week, when I do with the stylists, I'm going to talk to the stylists about upgrades and what they should be doing. Just in the same way, I mean, who feels like this? Who feels like, oh gosh, you know, I wish I'd have, you know, paid more attention and done some more things in my business when I should have done? Who feels like that? Stylists are going to feel the same way. You know, they wish they you know, they did more. Everybody's going to, well, not all. You know, some like for some people, when they go on holiday, you know, and then they come back and they decide that hairdressing's not for them anymore and they change their mind. And I was listening to a webinar the other day, and they were saying there's going to be a lot of people for whom their business was nothing but pain. Oh, look at those. Sorbet. Nice. They're nice, huh? They literally just came in. So you get those on your social media, right? And you might sell a few of those. And yeah, we got caught up in life. We're having to sit back now and analyse what works and what doesn't. And it's meant to be. I agree. It's a good opportunity. Janice is asking for the RRP. Declan might put that up in a minute. Daniel has just gone to the bathroom. He was there, but he's just gone to the bathroom. But I think Declan will have it. And maybe you've got the brushes there. Will you be emailing your clients to inform them of your price increase? No. Tesco's didn't email me to let me know that they're not doing any 2 for 3 anymore. Or I was walking, I love a bargain in the supermarket, right? And now in Tesco's, you have to like walk in the flow, don't you? Right? So I popped into Tesco's like last week, popped in, and I was gone for like an hour and a half. Daniel was like, "Where were you?" It took me 25 minutes to get in there, like just in the door. Anyway, so I'm going like along down every aisle. I love a bargain. So I like looking for all, where it says, and I'm one of these people. In my laundry room, I've got like a million gazillion washing, clothes washing powders, because every time it's on offer, I buy one, right? That's me. Who else has noticed that they're not doing any offers anymore? Except for the co-op. The co-op are still doing their offers. Yeah. £110 is the RRP. Remember, it's a 40% gross profit on those for you. Remember, I told Daniel when Simonson is a Scandinavian company, right? And Daniel, really being Swedish, really wanted to, it's been his thing to do business with a Scandinavian country. And I said to him, if we can't get 40% RRP, 40% gross profit for salons, we are not doing it. And so, yeah, I'm very proud to say HH Simonson, 40% gross profit. So that's good. You took me to Lidl for the first time. It was hilarious. We were on an editorial. I remember that, Jill. Yes. I was like, wow, this is actually quite good. They had a baker's in. They were baking. It was a Sunday and they were baking fresh croissants. I could not believe it. Bargains everywhere. Sainsbury's. You got some free avocados at Sainsbury's. Well, that's not my experience at all. Although I'm finding with shopping, oh yes, these sorbet brushes. I'm finding with shopping that the food's all going off. I'm bringing it home and it's going off in 2 days. You got a free Easter egg in Morrison's. Maybe I'm not going shopping often enough, right? So I wondered what they were going to do with all those Easter eggs, because I went in there just before Easter. I thought there is no way they're going to sell all these Easter eggs before Easter, because people are not visiting each other, So ordinarily I'd have bought, I don't know, a dozen Easter eggs, right? And I bought 2, and because I can only leave them on the doorstep. So that's those brushes. In a minute they'll find. Yeah, Tammy said they're too busy making money. Creature of habits, the price of everything, and it's all increased in price. Yeah, that's what I think too. One of my stylists got a bunch of flowers for free after Mother's Day. Flowers, let me tell you about that. So I always buy flowers. I bought 2 bunches of daffodils in Tesco's. They never even opened. They stayed like that for 4 days and then just dried up and died. And I said to Daniel, if I was going to work every day, I'd have scooped them up and taken them back and got my £2 back. But I'm going there at the moment. What did you buy for 18p? Yeah, the food's not lasting as well. It's taking so long to do the shopping. Right, let's get back to what we're doing. So making the most of the profit. The retail opportunities that are there. We've talked about that. Prepare the salon to welcome everyone back. So I don't know if you've seen what Barry's done on his salon windows. He was actually on the local news this morning. They've picked up the story. Absolutely beautiful. I've ordered some red carpet. It hasn't cost me a lot of money. I got the local carpet company to do it, who are really happy, to do this red carpet so that we can roll out the red carpet for our clients. What about the team? What are we going to do to welcome the team back? I really like what you've done, Jill. That's a really great idea, but we've got to welcome them back too. So we can't do it with a hug, I doubt. So let's think about, what we're going to do. It's one of the things I'm going to be asking my majors this afternoon. What other ideas have people had? A team hair day. Yes. Georgia, funnily enough, yes, it's one of the notes I put. They're going to need their hair done. And yeah, getting them all back into doing the hair, a team pamper. That would be great. They can all get their hair done. You can have a salon team gathering. Yeah, I think we've got to do that. Yeah, you was thinking about a team hair day. Got to be done. Yeah. So, and the proper, you know, the full works on the team day. The Malibu makeover, you know, the detox. Let's have them all come back. Their hair's all beautiful, shiny, good condition. You know, the clients come in, wow, you know, what a breath of fresh air. You walk around the supermarket at the moment, everyone's got a ponytail. Men are shaving all their hair off. Jackie sent the team. Yeah, I know that, Jackie, because we did that order for you. So thank you for that. She did. She sent the team a shampoo and a conditioner and a treatment so they could all treat themselves at home. She did indeed. I'll just give you all a little tip. Malibu do a beautiful face mask. They do more than 2 types, but there's only 2 types we're allowed in Europe. One is perfection mask. Which is for aging skin, and the other one is a sensitive mask for sensitive skin. It's a beautiful mask. Gosh, I can't remember, but you could easily, they're sachets, of course, you could easily send them through the post. So that might be nice for the team. Just trying to make use of every profit opportunity. Excuse me. So, oh yeah, that the face mask, Nicole. You did yours the other night with the Euphoria mood on the go. Yeah, me too. Glass of wine. I was in the bath, loving it. So we've got to prepare the salon to welcome everyone back. We've got to have the schedule prepared. So we're going to have to, you know, start making some decisions about, you know, what you're going to do, and you're going to have to go into consultation with the team about, you know, if you want people to do different days than they normally do. So we're going to have to think about that and get the appointments confirmed. And, you know, I don't know about you, but we've moved our clients, you know, around, and now we've just left them in there until we know more idea. But we need to have, and it's one of the things we're doing this afternoon, and my managers have been saying to me all week, you know, when will we know what we should do? What should we do? What should we? So we're going to talk about that this afternoon. We're going to actually put the steps in place. For an example, we'll have the receptionist back. So they'll be one of the first people that are back. But actually, you know, if we want people to do the consultations on the telephone or online, we've got to think about how we do that too. So there's a lot to think about. So let's think about our business dialogue. I'm going to start this campaign for us when we are communicating with our clients, and we're going to ramp up our communication towards focusing on coming back. So, you know, we can ask our clients to adapt to our new pre-appointment planning and consultations, because it's going to help us and help them. Jill said, so you'll bring your receptionist out of furlough first to help call clients. Yeah. Or maybe our managers. You know, let's see. Do you think we'll be open 12-hour days? That's not sure is the answer. I think they're all things that we have to talk about initially. I think, yes, we should do that. We want to ask clients to attend their appointment alone. So you've got to put together some kind of letter, communication for your clients. Ask them to buy their home care from us and tell them it helps us and it helps you. You know, Brittany tells her clients, as Brittany Newby from Canada, many of you know her, part of Brittany's dialogue to her clients is that when you support me by taking my recommendations and advice, you're supporting my education, because that's what I use the commission towards. Okay, and that's how we started Retail Bank. Well, and now Kim uses that dialogue, and she tells her clients, when you support me by taking my advice and recommendation, you're supporting my education, which means I can bring you better services and my hairdressing gets better all the time. And that's one of the ways that she built her retail business. Remembering, you know, Brittany won Euphoria Retail Stylist of the Year last year with an average retail per client of $38, and products are dollar for pound. Like, so if a bottle of shampoo is £20, it's $20. And you know, Kim does an average client average from around £9 to £12 client average, I think. Yeah. So people want to help, right? I've seen a lot of people posting, in the future, I'm only going to do business with my local businesses. You know, so let's take advantage of that. So when you buy your home care from us, you're helping yourself and you're helping us, because we'll make good, honest recommendations for you, and you'll get the right product without having to make decisions off a shelf that are not always the right decision. And you will be helping us. So you'd be supporting our business, supporting our stylists. We'll be telling our clients, when you recommend your friends and family, you're helping us. I mean, of course, we've been doing that for many years, but we're going to ramp that up. And then asking clients, please write us a review, because we've got no reviews up there for the past, 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it is. Ian's got a question. Our colour day is the busiest on Tuesdays like yours. How will it change if we're told or expected social distancing ideas welcome? Well, the distance in the salon is one thing. So in other words, how people sit away from each other. In the same way that, these are my thoughts. People, please put your thoughts on here. At the basins, I'm thinking about putting perspex like the supermarkets have done. It's not going to look very nice, but if it's temporary, it can easily come down afterwards. So I'm thinking about that. And then I think the thing about people having colours is that they're not sitting in one chair, are they? They've got to move from here to the basin, to there, to there. And I really think that one-on-one care with the client, or as I said earlier, I'm going to have my team work in twos. So the client will be told, today working with you will be Kim and Danius. And they're the only 2 people that will work with you today. Right? And so the client's only got to keep her eye on those 2 people, as it were. I don't know. That's what I'm going to do. Where do we get our perspex from? I'll have to, off the top of my head, I can't remember the name of the company. We have got a company that we get perspex from. I don't even know if they're, I thought about this in the co-op yesterday. I was like, one of the problems I'm going to have is they're going to be so busy. But we have got a few weeks. Yeah, Marcus probably won't want their coats hanging up together. Perhaps those plastic covers like dry cleaners use. I've thought about IKEA do them. And then I thought, yeah, but they're not disposable either. I mean, you can just go on and on about it. But I did think that too. But then, when we're in the supermarket, I mean, you've got to use your hands. I don't know. Do you know when Boris is giving us an update? Yes, Thursday. Might not be Boris. He's still not back to work. But yes, they're giving us an update on Thursday. Yep, someone had said doing it by Thursday. And asking clients to write us a review. And this is something we can do now. We've had quite a lot of clients when we're doing our social media. We've had quite a lot of clients that are going on and saying, "Oh, this is a brilliant hairdresser." And I'm sure I've seen many of you have done these kind of miss you posts, and then the clients all put, "Yeah, we miss you, which is great. What are you doing with the points on the slide, or is it when you open? Oh, so no, these points. So these are the dialogue that we're going to start having once we make the decisions. So emailing clients and saying, these are some of the things that will be different. We're going to do our client consultation first, though, where we ask clients for their feedback. What will you expect to see different in the salon? And then making sure that we say to clients, it's really important that you rebook your next appointment for your convenience, but also we'd really appreciate it for our planning because it will allow us to plan financially. And I'm going to teach the stylists all this dialogue next week. And these are all things, like there's some of it that I'm so happy about because I think, gosh, now we have a compelling reason for people to do this stuff, not because they think it's a nice idea or I'll do it for 3 weeks after I've done a course and then it will just go back to normal. You know, we're going to talk about why this is so important, that if they have decided hairdressing is a career for them, this is an opportunity for them to reset and be the most professional that they can be and maximize their results. Don't forget the deposits on there. Yep, I thank you for that reminder on there. Good, I'm glad you do, Jill. I love doing these too. We can be really honest and open with our clients, yeah, so they can help us move forward. And those that don't are not our clients, right? So the new normal will be amazing for most. I'm not sure about that. Not for most. But I think that there could be a lot of people for whom, yeah, anyway, I don't know. You've got a lot of ideas from this. Good. Okay. So next week, next Wednesday, we're going to do Let's Talk Dialogue for Professional Stylists. So I want to spend some time with the stylists. Of course, so remember tomorrow, we've got Jude Q&A after the census webinars. That's tomorrow. On Friday, we've got Nicole. Nicole is doing 8 essential steps for financial success. Yes, it will be suitable for assistants. Yeah, please do invite your stylists. This one's open. And then next, yes, I'm telling you about Nicole. So she'll do the 8 essential steps. That's for your stylists as well as you. And then next Wednesday, we'll back that up with another layer when we'll talk about dialogue for professional stylists, some of the dialogue that they need for going back. Yeah, 8 steps is for all. That's right, Nicole. I've given you a lot to think about and plan. You've given me a lot to think about as well. Thank you. It's been really, really good. What time is Nicole on Friday, please? 11 a.m. I'm going to say, but let's just have somebody confirm that. If you go to, 11 a.m. If you go to www.passionforhairpro.com, you'll be able to see that you'll be able to sign up there. Okay. Just wanted to show you that. So literally yesterday, I did allude to this when I was on, was that a week ago? Did I allude to this a week ago? Anyway, I've been in consultation with this. There's other things that are coming out from this, but you can see census are on this. We're putting our order in. It will be with us by the time we reopen, unless Boris tells us on Thursday we can open on Friday. I doubt it. Marcus wants it all. So, okay, everyone. Are there any questions, Declan, that we should be addressing, that we left? We did it today as we were going along, so we could do it more as a. I hope it's been helpful. It's been helpful to me. I was a little bit nervous about this, you know, because it's not your traditional webinar, but it's been good. And as the weeks go on a little bit more, we'll know more and more, I'm sure, because as other businesses open, we'll be able to understand a little bit more about what's happening. I think that what day are we on today? Wednesday, Thursday. I think it's possible that tomorrow the government will open garden centres and DIY centres. And if they do, I think that will be another layer of clues for us as to how people get back, get their businesses back up and running. Anyway, I could be wrong about that. I don't know. I've not got any inside information. It's just a guess looking at what other people are doing. Yeah, I know the DIY is open click and collect. There's only certain things you can buy. You can't buy everything. Yeah, she's answered that. How will you decide on what amount you're going to put the prices up by and over what period of time? I don't think that you could put the prices up more than 10% unless you have got really low pricing to begin with. And I doubt that you have, Ian. You're probably like me already, the most expensive in the town. We were in a situation where we were the same price as Tony and Guy, and Tony and Guy closed. I remember when people were shaking in their boots. And Leslie Spears said, the best thing, when Tony and Guy were in a big expansion plan, who remembers this, said, the best thing that could happen to you in your town is that Tony and Guy opens opposite. He said, because it'll wake you up and make you do things properly. So, yeah, there you go. All right, so it's been great, everybody. It's been really good. And enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Nice sunshine. Get some fresh air if you can. Love to all. And we'll see you real soon. If you need anything, you know where we are. Okay? We are 24/7. We're here for you. Yeah.